Hello and welcome to this short video tutorial. My name is Mina and I'm with Sense Financial Services, your solo 401k document provider. Today we're going to cover the question, how much can I contribute to my solo 401k? Before we do so, a quick disclaimer. All information in this presentation is a general discussion for informational purposes only. Sense Financial Services LLC does not provide legal, tax, or investment advice, and no part of this presentation by Sense Financial Services is intended to be or may be relied upon as legal, tax, or investment advice. Please consult with the appropriate professionals before making any decisions. So the question we're going to look at in this video is, how much can I contribute to my solo 401k? This is one of our most often asked questions, and understandably so. Many of you chose the solo 401k precisely because of its high contribution limits. We know that high contribution limits allow you as the solo 401k plan owner to build up your retirement funds for the future, lessen your taxable income for the year when making pre-tax contributions, and lastly, they apply to each participant in the plan, meaning if both spouses are participating in the solo 401k plan, each can take advantage of the high contribution limits of the solo 401k. Now, before we go over some figures, remember that the solo 401k allows you to make two basic types of contributions. Number one, as employee, and number two, as employer. Remember, because you're self-employed, you're both, and the contribution limits reflect the ability to make both types of contributions to your solo 401k. Now, two things before we go over some figures. Number one, this is for the year 2022. So if you're watching this video in a year that's not 2022, you'll want to check our website for the most updated figures. Secondly, all contributions must come from your compensation or earned business income from the adopting business of your plan. In other words, you have to have generated self-employment income before you can contribute it to your plan. You can't contribute more than you've made. And these figures now will be based on your compensation or earned business income from the adopting business of your plan for the year in which you wish to make those contributions. So for 2022, the maximum employee contribution is $20,500 if you're under the age of 50. If you are age 50 and above, you can utilize the additional catch-up contribution of $6,500, making your total maximum employee contribution $27,000. Again, that's the employee contribution. One quick note about the employee contribution maximum. That is per person, not per plan. So if you have another business, or if you're employed by another business and you have a 401k through that business, and you've maxed out the employee contribution to that other 401k, you cannot make an additional employee contribution to your solo 401k. Again, because the maximum, if you've hit that limit, the maximum is per person, not per plan. But remember, the solo 401k allows both types of contributions, as employee and as employer. The employer contribution maximum is calculated a little bit differently from the employee contribution, which is given as just that straight dollar maximum. The employer contribution is given as a percentage, and that percentage depends on the type of adopting business that you have for your solo 401k. If you have a sole proprietorship or an LLC, then you would calculate the employer contribution as 20% of your compensation. If you have a corporation, like an S Corp, a C Corp, or an LLC with an S Corp election, you would calculate your maximum employer contribution as 25% of your compensation. Add those two together, the employee and the employer, Then you have a maximum total limit of $61,000 if you're under the age of 50 and $67,500 if you're age 50 and above. Again, that is the maximum contribution limit to your solo 401k for 2022, and that's based on your compensation or earned business income for 2022. For more information on contributions to the solo 401k, like how exactly do I process those contributions, what are the deadlines, please go to our client portal. Our client portal is designed to be a resource for you, available to you at all times, and we have lots of informative articles. Our contributions calculator is located there. Forms are located there to document your contributions. The client portal is, again, an available resource for you. And I'd just like to show you one section, just highlight one section of the client portal, and that's our knowledge base. Here I'm on the knowledge base. You'll see that you can click on the topic, I've done contributions, just to show you real quickly the types of articles that we have in the knowledge base. Again, this is available to you at all times. This article here is called Contribution Basics. It highlights the top 3 questions that we get as far as contributions, like this one: how do I calculate them? How do I actually make them? What is the deadline for doing so? It's all here on the client portal. Please make use of it. We've created it for you. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. We'd be more than happy to discuss this with you. Now, if you remember at the beginning of this video, I gave the disclaimer and I noted that you're always going to want to check with the appropriate financial professionals for advice. And this is especially true with contributions. You always want to run these calculations over with your CPA, just because every individual situation is so different. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this quick video on contributions to your solo 401k.